Hi everybody, Stephen here. Welcome back to our ARCHICAD tutorial series with the Villa Tugendhat, and this is part 14. I think in the last video we kind of worked on the back here. We added some of the windows, staircase, and some railing, and also worked a little bit on the roof. And I think we nearly at the end of the modeling. I think today what we're gonna do is to add the windows that are missing on this side here, and some of the railing. And what I'd like to do is to add some of the exterior furniture. When I was looking at the Google, you have this on the upper floor, so you get some planters. Don't know what's this. I don't. Maybe it's just some more seatings. You get that curved bench, and you get this. It's like a metal pergola or something. So maybe I'll try to model that just to give some more details in our model. So it's gonna be around here, and in the end, what I'd like to do is to take our drawings and do something like this. So we had like a presentation panels where we can have a perspective view, the floor plans, and some elevations and sections. And so I can show you a video how I can take stuff from ARCHICAD, bring it into Photoshop, and add some color, some texture, and maybe paint over some trees, just so that we can have a nice presentation panel that we can print out. And later on I'll show you also how you can take that models and prepare it so you can send it for laser cutting, and then maybe after we can make a little model out of it. But yeah, let's go on and finish the modeling first. So like I said, I think we're missing the window here. If we go into the west elevation, that's what we have. And just gonna show all the layers, see if okay, I don't have any reference picture of it, so I'm just gonna drag this. That's what I had saved before, and I'm just gonna use that as a reference. So like we did, I'm just gonna bring it here, maybe around here, and I'm gonna stretch it, Control K to this point, press Shift to keep it stick to the axis here, and I'm gonna stretch it and reference it to that point, just to give me an idea of how big the windows are gonna be. So I know there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So what I'm gonna do is to go back to the first floor here, and I'm just gonna paste one window, so I have one to work with. This one kind of looks similar to this, so I'm just gonna leave it as that. Maybe I'm just gonna move it so it ends to a round number. And this one I'm gonna make a copy, press Shift so it sticks to that same level, and so I'm gonna be 12,000. So now we go one here. Make sure that when you move it, you press Control to make a copy, so that little plus comes out. And that's a 2, so I'm just gonna so it's 2.88, so it's going 1, 4, 4, and I'm just gonna remove 2 panels. So click on this, press minus, so we'll remove 1, click on another one, press minus again, press OK, and maybe you can move it in place because now it shifted a little bit. So I'm just gonna bring it to the edge, and I don't know, 600. Yep, should be fine. And now I think those windows are pretty similar. Shouldn't be windows, I'm sure it's doors. So let's try to go to here and go here. Maybe I can see something. Okay, so this is at the bottom. Those are three windows, two doors, and I'm gonna try to go upstairs. So upstairs there's two windows and one door. So what I'm gonna do is to just first floor, and maybe go into 3D view, press S5, and I'm gonna paste this one. Well, I'm gonna press Alt and click, so they get the little absorb the properties of that window. And I'm just gonna make a copy here and make sure it's this side. Also gonna take a door. Come on, rotate. And yeah, I guess I'll open it to that side. And let's go back into the west elevation. So then up here, so the door should be shifted a little bit, so it's kinda in line with the end of the slab here, and like that. Feels like here the balcony is going further. Let's check. It does go a little bit further. Maybe we'll just change that after. So now we're gonna take this window and the spacing between those two, let's say we're gonna do 500 or 450. Gonna make a copy and move it 450 again. This one is about the same, a little bit bigger than this door, and this door, what's the width? 1 meter, so we're just gonna put it up maybe 1.2, and gonna shift it back to 450, so it's 500. Voila. The design is a bit different, like the top should be divided into two. Let's see if we can do that quickly. Okay, so those are the apertures and uniform panes, and yeah, maybe I should have done a CAD image window on here. Let's go. I guess it's alright. I'm just gonna shift that a little bit, maybe increase by 800. Take the wall, Control D, so I can move, and just gonna snap to that point. Select those two, and I'm gonna intersect. And let's go back to the elevation. And now I get 1, 2, and those 3 windows, and there should be a door there. So for those windows, I'm just gonna maybe pick the same one, those ones, and go into the ground floor. Windows. So one window is gonna be here. I think this one here, and one here. What's elevation? And I'm gonna move the window there. Let's maybe like where the first step. And this one is, let's say 600 from that door. As you can see, the door seems to be going all the way to the top. And let's check that into here. Okay, go back again. I guess it's the other one. And actually the door doesn't go all the way, but it has something on top, so this is the same door as this. So I'm just going to take this one and gonna inject, and of course it doesn't go because it's set to that level. So what you do is to go into the ground floor and just inject from here. So now it went back up, so you take that and change the seal to story, anchor to ground floor. Let's see if it's shifted down. Still not down. Okay, do I have the right one? Set to 0. Okay, now it's down. And it doesn't need to go all the way, so I'm just going to reduce the size to 2.2. Oops, I kind of deleted that 2.4, 2.6. Okay, I think this is okay, and I'm going to copy that and paste it in here. Go back to the elevation, and this one needs to be shifted a little bit, and it's kind of after this, so just gonna bring it here, and let's say 2.3. Needs to be a bit wider, about, well, 2 meters each. And let's check the design. So this is not gonna be solid. Fixed glass, transom, model attribute, solid panel. So this is going to be set to glass, and I need to add a grid, and it's going to be 2, and the main sash is going to be 2 as well. This one I need to change the color to glass clear fast, and I think for the door it's the same thing. Yep. And actually the panel should be solid on those ones. Model attribute, clear fast, and here I'm gonna take a solid one. Cool. I'm gonna change that slab color to white as well. And on the underside. So if you click this, all the surface is gonna be linked. So if I change this one, it will change all of them. And I think there's some windows missing here. Yep, so I got one door, 1, 2, so there's like 5, and this has got 4. So it's already here, so I'm just gonna copy that. And I'm gonna place one here. And gonna place another one. Go into the west elevations. So this is supposed to be just one frame, and I'm gonna put it 1000. Just gonna move the sash to no grid, 1000, and I'm gonna put it into place. Looks smaller than 1000 actually, but I'm gonna move it to 600, and I'm gonna change that to maybe 800. So after that you have a door. I think it's similar to the door that we have on the first floor. This one we have here, and ground floor, basement, there, and it has a little landing as well. Just gonna paste that, select the center, and just put it here. Make sure that it's touching the ground. See, it's floating a little bit, and just gonna drop it down, and check doors, so they should be lining up. So maybe I'm just gonna raise the door, gonna elevate it, so there's like 50, and this should just be right. Or maybe I'll just increase the size of the door, 2.2, and this one should be set to 5. And if I press M, I can measure stuff like in 3D just to roughly give me an idea. So 850. So let's gonna put that to 4.150. Oops. Come on. Okay, just press escape and go F2 so you get out of 3D. And move it. I'm just gonna move it 600. Check that 600 here as well. That's not 600. 465. So take those two, and I'm gonna move it 135. 600. And this one needs to be divided into 5. So just go to sash, 3D view, and this seems to be longer, so it nearly goes to the halfway point in here. And yep, so I'm just gonna stretch it 5.1, and yep, should be fine like this. Now we're gonna, I think there's some railings here that I need to add. So there's one railing here, and let's go up. One railing here, here, and here. So we're just gonna copy paste what we have here, and so go to ground floor, take those two, Control D, press Control again just to make a copy. Gonna rotate that. Well, just this one needs to be rotated. And let's just check how far did I go. 160. So I'm just gonna move that the same. 160. And back here, what's the midpoint? 385, so 150 plus 60, 200, let's say 210. And I'm gonna change that to 160 as well, and gonna line them up here and here. Then I'm gonna take the corner point and turn it to the right so it's diagonal, and I'm gonna stretch it back here and put it back straight. I think I can bring it back a bit more and add offset. So this one, let's say 100. Oops, that was the other one. So just move here 100, and then I'm gonna push it to here. Now go into the west section, west elevation, and as you can see, we need to change the angle. So like we did last time, you can do this. You could either change the angle like this, so it's minus 30, so 28.37. Select the railing, press Ctrl T to go into the settings, and I'm going to change 28.37. And now let's count how many division it has. 1, 2, and 3, and just 3. So I'll go back and change the number of bars to 3. Oops, guess it was 4. And let's go in 3D. Okay, it seems that I need to push that up a little bit, or maybe I'll just bring it down. Okay, cool. And this one, I think 4 is too much. I think if I just do 3, yep, that should be similar to this. And now I'm just gonna take it this one, put it here and here. I think they're about the same angle. 160, and make sure that it's in center. 336, so 120. Oops. Yeah. One technique, if you like me, yeah, like I mean, it's just math, but if you want to be more precise, just draw a line, and ARCHICAD will tell you exactly what's the center point. It's just much faster. Sometimes your brain doesn't function anymore. So those are my little cheats, and take this one, make a copy, and gonna turn it this way. And move it 160. Align them, and here this one has a little offset, so I have to make that 0. Bring that back in. Make them connect, and change the angle so you get a nice junction. don't even know if it's like this. Yeah, it's sitting on top. This is 1, 2, 3 as well, and this one is just 1, and it's not going all the way, so it stops here. Turn here, and now I'm gonna remove the number of bars, so there's like 1, and this one's 3, should be fine. Let's check the angle. Should be a bit different because there's not the same number of steps, and it's lower. Take the line tool. $21.45. You can see they're different. Maybe this should be the same as this one. I mean the riser height, but it's okay. Nobody knows exactly what's the height. Around 45. I'm gonna bring it here. And this one is to connect to that. And now I'm just gonna do this. Open with current settings. And check the angle as well. Ta-da. 21.51. 21. Okay, delete that. As you can see in 3D, that corner is not really nice. I think in a later version of ARCHICAD, the railing tool is much better, and you could actually have one. There's a better connection, or maybe on this one you could have as well. It's just that. Wait, maybe I'll. Anyway, that's the fastest way to do it. And when you take like a 3D perspective view, there's a detail that you might not really see, so don't really need to be fussy over it. Oops, I'm missing the post here. Is there a post? There's no post. It's connecting directly to here, so it's fine. Maybe I'm just gonna stretch the wall, go up, and what you can do is to actually take this, Control T, and there's a floor plan sections. So right now the railing are set up on the ground floor, so that when you click on the ground floor view you'd see them, but let's say you want them to see on the first floor. So you just have to change to show home story and 1 story up, so it's under the floor plan and section. So now when you're gonna go onto the first floor, you'd see them as well. And I'm gonna stretch that to here. So it's finished a bit better. Okay, cool. It's a good time to save. Always save, Control S. And what we're gonna do, what time is it? 30 minutes. So just to finish the hour, I'm gonna try to model the furniture. Let's go there. So it's this. I don't know if on the floor plan the guy had designed this. Let me check. Oh cool, we have the dimensions. So just make sure that we resize this image, and we're just going to use that as a reference to design a little curve bench. I haven't done that before, so I might not get it straight away from the beginning, but I guess that's the point of doing a live in real time, just to show you the kind of things that might happen, like the mistakes. But yeah, okay, let's go in here so you can see it's like slatted. I mean, you could do different. I think I'll do a slab, a big one like this, or you could do mini slabs. I guess I'll do the mini slabs one, so just to show you how it can be done. So I would first create that circle, that semicircle, and you're gonna do this. Change the line to solid one, and so I think I did 900, so it's gonna do 950. And I know that I get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And there's a little gap in between. I mean, that's little detail that you wouldn't see that much, but I'm just gonna show you how you would do it. So I'd make a copy on top of it, and I'm just gonna offset to I think the width would be 150. Oops, too small. I guess it's not 150. UF, that's like 950, so you just have to add so it's gonna be 1.1. Oh, that's too big. So 1000, maybe too small. Okay, you get this, and now you just close that curve. Doesn't matter the color. I just want to have a closed shape, and now you can just take the slab tool, use the magic wand by pressing spacebar and click inside. So now you would have a slab that has that shape. I think you're on the first floor. Just maybe lift it 600. So if you go into 3D, come on, F5. Where is it? Okay, it's not here. So it's on the first floor. It should be 6th level. Go, like I said. Oh, because we didn't. It's not on the house. It's outside. If you look here, it should be hit here. So maybe I just take this image and the slab that I just made. Voila. Now it's on top, and it should be around here. So what you could do now is to oops, just need to create another line. So to create another line, because those lines were, I didn't take them, is here, but if I don't want to take them and put it back on top, I can just take the line and use the magic wand again and click on the shape, and it will recreate the outline. And now if I wanted to, I can just select that and move it a little bit to create that gap. So let's be 22 centimeters. Oops, I actually go further. So if it's 1050, you have to do 1070, and then from there you can create another one, paste it on top. And so if it's 1070 and then we have a 150 I don't know, piece of wood, so it's gonna be 1220. Nope, my maths were wrong. So it's gonna be 170. Oh, I think I did it 100, not 150. Yeah. And then I will just close the loop again, just doing some lines. But you can see it takes some time if you want to add that details, and you have to ask yourself if it's really worth your time. Because I mean, you could just create one slab and maybe do a texture in Photoshop that give you that illusions of having different pieces of wood. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna make one. So that's the original one. I'm gonna offset that edge to here, and I'm gonna 600, and voila. And here that's like a railing, so you could curve rails as well. Go into the object, and it kind of looks like this, or maybe more like this, more like this. And so I'm gonna click here, put it in place. Oops, rotate it, stretch it so it to length, and maybe I'm just gonna move that here and stretch that. Okay, what I'll do is to create a guideline for me. Actually, I nearly got it right. And now I think this can be curved. Let me see, where are the options? Wait, maybe it can't. Remember, I did some curved railings before. Maybe you can't. Well, I guess you just have to do it manually then. Just make that railing out of slabs. So I'll take this, make a copy, and place it into maybe like this. And I'm gonna close that. So this is gonna be used to create the little rails in between. Take the slab, and let's go with 3D. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, And actually it's quite good because you can see those ones are closer in, and this one are inside the tubes. So right, I think they're like on top of this. So I'll take that one and I'm gonna make a copy. Oops. And gonna offset, bring in here, let's say 200, and bring that again 200. So now if I go into 3D, forgot to turn off transparency and shadow just to make it faster to navigate. And maybe I should have just selected this and this. Press shift, select more element, press F5, so that's the only thing that shows. And change the height to, say, 25. And 50. So this one needs to be a bit more. Make a copy, 150. And this one, well, is gonna go 300. Oops, there was an extra copy on top. Delete. Delete. Oh, my delete button doesn't even work. I don't know, for some reason it didn't work in 3D. And I think this is actually a bit too far away, so I'm just gonna move it back 80. Oops. And I'm gonna make 3 copies up. So you could either do like I did before, doing 3D, press Control and just type in, or if you have to do multiple copies, you can just use the multiply tool here. But instead of doing this, you have to do elevate, so you make sure that it goes in the well, the up direction. And I want a spread of 150, so I can just move as much as I need to. I think it's only 3. And it looks like actually it's going much further than 150, but that's okay, we're just gonna leave it at that. And now I'm just gonna place some little columns. I think at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 4 columns. Let's see. I'm just gonna place it here. Go into the settings, this one, and make it a bit smaller, 50. And what I'm going to do now is to click on this, multiply, and this time I'm going to do rotate, and I'm going to distribute. I don't want any vertical displacements because I just want them to stay on the same level. So let's set that to 0. And I need to have I think it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 So I have 5 copies, and I'm just gonna go on one of the arcs so I can get the center of that circle. Press once, click on here, and then just move around. And as you can see, there's a extra one, so I think it wasn't 5, it was 4 that I need to type. And click. And now you can see the column's actually too high. It's because it's going all the way to the top. So I'm just going to select them and go into the settings, make sure that they're not linked, and so that you can fix the height that you want. Or you can just change it manually. This one here. Let's check, and this is going past, or maybe it's just that this one should be in a little bit. So maybe what we're going to do is to redo that. First I'm just going to absorb the properties of the column that we just made, so that I don't need to redo that. And instead of starting from here, what I'll do is create a guideline, and just going to rotate that, let's say -4 degrees, and I'm going to make a mirror of it like this. So now I can just go back to here and place it, let's say one here. And well, actually if you want it to be more precise, I think you can just between intersection, I think it's this one. Yep. So because there's the line is intersecting the slab, it will give you the middle point between these two lines. Yep. And now you can use that, do the multiply, same settings, and use this center point, do the same thing, and now you stop here. And I think those ones are supposed to go a bit further, say 50, and this one is the one below 50, and do the same here. Oops, go. It's better to type it. Now this is more accurate. 50, 50, and 50. Let's go into 3D. Cool, looks like that. And now I need to add this little supports. So what I can do is to maybe use a beam to create this. And so it's going from here to here. So I'm going to take a beam, and I think that's like 17. Okay, 17. That's going to be the thickness. 17 and 17. The height I'm not too sure yet. I'll just put 600, so it's around the bench. But I'll have to adjust it after. So let's check in 3D now, and it's here. So I'm just gonna lift it up. Oops, that's the thing, when you do in 3D, it might go all over the place. So I'll just pick it, try to press shift and try to stick to that line, so you know you're going straight up, and try to find a reference point to an object that they're on the same level. And now I'm just gonna make a copy, press Control, do the same thing here. And because I want to do the same thing make a copy on here. So I'm just going to select those two, make a group. So to make a group, Control G, and now I'm going back. So now, even though look like I'm selecting just one because that's a group, it will select the one below as well. And I'm just gonna do the multiply thing again and rotate. Maybe I should have done that when I created the little bars. Now let's go back. Of course, it didn't. Actually, it didn't do what I say it would do. Okay, but now you can just select the one that you just made. Control T, so you can make multiple copies of multiple objects at the same time. Press Shift and just find a reference point, and voila. What else do we need to finish this? We need this, those little blocks, and it's the same thing. So I'm just gonna create a slab. Or maybe either a slab or a wall tool. It's the same. I'll just use the wall for this time. And make sure it's centered. Oops, did I get out? And I guess it should have been a bit closer to here. Ooh, 200. And well, what I'm gonna do is to just move it 5 degrees. And what I can do is to just make a copy, because I don't want to create another guideline, so I'm just gonna use mirror. So I know that's gonna be the end block, and now I'm just gonna do the matrix thing, and I'm gonna do 4 but -1. Oops. Rotate. It's 4 copies. Nah, I should have just keep with this one. Oops, went the wrong way. And I just have to delete the extra copy that I made. So now they might not be in the right position, and as you can see, they're going all the way to the top because they stick to that upper level. I'm just gonna take those, Control T, not linked, press OK, and I can then stretch them so they fit underneath. Voila. Of course, it kind of looks a little bit different. I think this should be a bit lower, and maybe they're not supposed to be at an angle. Maybe I can just make them straight. Yeah, I think it looks better. But then maybe I need to make them a bit shorter so they don't go beyond that curve. 600. And maybe I can do the same for those ones. F5. Okay, well, now the last thing would be to kind of change the color so it match it match the existing, and this siding dark. Oops. Oh, it kind of looks like that, so but no, I'm just gonna put it dark gray. And what color is the I'm just gonna select the post and these little things. I think that's one advantage of grouping stuff is that you wouldn't have to click the little parts all the time. But if you do arrive in that situation, one little quick technique would be to go back into the floor plan, change the marquee to this one. Don't even know what it's called, but you have to use this. Take that, press F5, and it will only show the stuff that's within that marquee. And because you know that's the only beam that you use, you can just press beam, press Ctrl A, and it will select all the beams. Just save you a lot of clicking and like, yeah. And now I can just select the rest of the post, and now I can change the color to, I think that was this one. Of course, because like as you can see, the little beam hasn't changed color because I guess I had the columns selected, so just do it separately then. Make sure it's all of them, and voila. So now we got a little bench. Go back here, just press outside so you don't have that selection mark anymore, and I go back, everything's shown. So now we got our bench, and just gonna zoom out. Cool. What time is it? We get 2 minutes till 1 o'clock. But I think we're just gonna stop here. In the next video, I guess I'll just do the pergola. But the pergola will be the same technique as I did for the railing of that bench. As you can see, it's the same thing. You would do the post and some beams, same thing. And this is just like slab that you can extrude up, and that's the same technique. I would do post and one piece of slab. So maybe I'll do that after, and in the next video we can start looking how we can save some images and maybe go over the rendering, so we can get some base image that we can bring into Photoshop and start tweaking. But thank you for following the tutorial, and of course if you have any question, just post in a comment, and